ladies and gentlemen, it's your host, your boy, George Mackay, back in the Straight Talk studios. And as you can see from behind me, we are talking MLW. That's right. This week's episode of MLW Underground was a fantastic episode. Dare I say it had a lot of emotions. It got me up, down, all over the place. Very exciting. We'll get into all that and more. And as you guys all know, I never do this alone. I always do this with my PIC, my podcast life partner, the one and only.
Hi, I'm Uncle Bobby B. What's up?
What's up is that I'm in a far better mood. Why? Do you know why? No headphones. We figured out the audio issue, and I'm happy to say it was all on my end.
What else is new?
What else is new? Also, so I'm the only one that fucking does the editing or anything else behind the scenes. Rob just gets to go up. So, you know, what can I say?
I take no bumps.
I edited a lot of podcasts, and in between editing podcasts, I forgot to turn down the reverb. But that's okay, because I fixed the problem. The little virtual knob has been turned down. So we're good.
You're a virtual knob.
You're a virtual knob. Shut the fuck up. All right. So without further ado, let's get into this week's episode of MLW Underground. Now, as you can see behind me, that is the main event for the evening. We know a while ago, once the Boomaya Fight Club lost to the Billington Bulldogs, that Davey Boy Smith was going to get Alex Kane one-on-one. But obviously, they're not alone. They're going to have their respective camps in their corners. But that main event is later on in this episode. Let's start off with the start of MLW Underground. We get a recap of Fatu and Hammer from last week. What a fucking match. I can't stress it enough. If you have not watched this match, you really, really should. Pause us, watch the match, then come back. But watch the match, seriously. Watch the damn match.
Yeah, it was a banger.
It was a banger. And of course, we had the Hammer celebration after because he retained the title. He's doing his Hammer pose. And what happened? The calling, the hive. Thank God the hive did not last. The calling. That's right. The calling is what they're officially called now.
Okay.
Thank God. Well, you heard it too, though. You heard last week, Joe Dombrowski threw around the hive a couple times. It's like they were trying to feel out which one was better. Thank God they dropped the hive and they went with the calling. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, like I said at the last episode, I was like, I don't know if it's the hive. I heard the hive, but I know it's the calling. So I think it's better they went with the calling.
The calling makes sense, especially with the fact that they lay down calling cards after they attack everyone. It just makes sense. The calling cards, it makes sense. It absolutely does. And we got a recap of that vicious attack from the calling on Hammer, leaving him pretty much incapacitated in a ring after a wicked knee from Akira. And the calling card left in the middle of the ring. That's for sure. And we also, like I said, our main event is behind me. But this episode kicks off with MSL, and he's introing none other than the 10th wonder of the world, or sorry, what did they introduce him as? The last wonder of the world?
He is the greatest wonder of the world, I think. I don't know. I can't remember now.
Well, I mean, because China, Andre was 8, China was 9. We went over this last week. Microman being 10th wonder of the world.
Right.
I like the 10th wonder of the world. I'm going to go with that. So for my own personal self, he's introing the 10th wonder of the world, Microman, and he's going one-on-one with Real One. Now, this is a feud that's been brewing. It's been brewing
a year.
For almost a year, almost a full calendar year, since last year's Battle Riot. That's right. When Microman, in MSL's words, and Joe Dombrowski and Matt Stryker's words, punted. That's right, he did. He literally punted Microman off the ring apron. It was bad. I remember Rob and I watching that. We were like, damn, I legitimately hope he's okay, because Real One kicked him with like no fucks given.
He just boot fucked him. Yeah, that's the only way to put it.
Hardcore. So and some of the great things that MSL said, I love MSL when he promos stuff, because he really lays down facts that I didn't know. For example, I didn't know that Real One outweighed Microman 158 pounds, and I did not know that Real One was 38 inches taller than Microman. I had no idea. I obviously knew there was a weight and height difference, but the fact to lay out the actual numbers, I learned something today. I did.
MSL's a great hype man. I like his pre-match promo for Microman, the way he builds him up. But also, like, me, I'm a gear guy.
Right.
MSL, from what I can tell, has figured out a way to get away with wearing either velour or velvet predominantly in his outfit. Genius. That's comfort taken to the next level. Everyone else is sitting there in dress pants. He's got velour happening. There's no question. Shout out to MSL for beating the system. Congratulations.
the system. That's right. If you don't know what we're talking about, MSL rocks the I guess it's a velvet jacket.
Velvet or velour
Oh, I
pants
believe the
and like a
jacket is,
velvet jacket.
yeah, I believe the jacket
Yeah.
is velvet. The pants
Velvet's
are
an exquisite material.
oh, absolutely. The pants are definitely velour, definitely made for comfort. And he's rocking an MLW golf shirt underneath with his gold. So he's got, what I'll say this right now. I'll put this out there in the universe. MSL got more drip than Johnny Drip Drip.
Love it.
Absolutely. So as MSL is introing Microman, Microman comes out. He's saying hi to the crowd, and they cut back to a promo shot earlier in the day as Mance Warner is waiting at the ticket booth with a 12-pack of cold ones. And he's talking about how this is where he always hangs out pre-show. That's right. Mance Warner always hangs out in the front of the building at any venue that MLW goes to. So if MLW is in a city near you and you have some time to kill before the show, go to the venue, go to the front of the venue, and you most likely will see Mance Warner. And Microman just strolls in off the street. No entourage, no limo. Very, very poor planning on MSL's part. But he strolls in. Mance is happy to see him, and Mance gives him a beer, as Mance always does, but he also gives him something a little extreme. That's right, a kendo stick, because we are in the city of extreme, Philadelphia, and you can't really, and listen, don't forget that Microman had a one-on-one crash training course with Sandman on how to use that kendo stick only like 6 months ago. So Microman is very, very astute in the world of kendo. Very astute. Very
Kendo sticks at least.
Oh yeah, okay, yes, kendo sticks at least. So
smash them
and crash them. So after that amazingness that is Mance Warner and where he always hangs out before every show, Real One comes out. He cuts a promo for a little bit long for my taste. I'll be honest with you. Very, very redundant, kind of saying the same things as he always does. Entertaining nonetheless, but very, very over the top and redundant. Ding, ding, ding. Bell rings right away. Drop kick. Well, not really a drop kick, more of a baseball slide to Microman. And again, to quote Rob, boot fucks Microman right into the corner. Then he rolls out and he's attacking Saint Laurent. He's bullying Saint Laurent, which you don't really see too often. Saint Laurent does not get involved in anything, should I say, combative. Saint Laurent is more of a mouthpiece. He's not a fist fighter. But Real One bullies him into moving out of the chair, which he slides into the ring and tells Saint Laurent to hold the microphone as he picks up. This is very odd to say. I never thought I would say this sentence ever, but I'm saying it now. He picks up Microman and holds him over his head like he's Simba and starts singing the opening part of The Circle of Life from The Lion King, which he did say he was going to do in his promo, but the fact that he actually did it. Now, while he's holding him up like Simba and he's Rafiki, and he has the hairstyle to match Rafiki, that's for sure, Microman kind of, I guess, boot fucked him inadvertently like 7 or 8 times in his face, dropping Microman. Then he goes to, I guess, boot him again. Microman ducks underneath, then goes for like a drop toe hold, if you will, and catches Real One by the toes, smacks him right into the chair. He's knocked out cold. He is not moving. Like he is face planted really well into that chair. Not sure if that's the way it was planned or maybe inadvertently, but it looked like he sold it really, really well. And just to wrap it up before I get Rob's thoughts, Mance comes strolling out with beer, distracts the ref. I don't know why. Slides a kendo stick into Microman. Again, I don't know why, because at this point, Real One is completely knocked out. Microman hits Real One over the shoulder, not over the head, over the shoulder, misses the back of the head completely. Obviously, we know why. Then he rolls Real One over for the 1, 2, 3, and we get a celebration of Mance Warner, Saint Laurent, and Microman all having beers. And Mance even stops to take a few pictures right next to Enzo in the stretcher, smiling like this. All in all, the ending was just a lot of stuff going on, but it was entertaining nonetheless. Rob, what's your thoughts on Microman versus Real One? Did it live up to a year-long feud on and off?
Well, I mean, I was saying last week, I was kind of wondering how they were going to do this match because it would be interesting to see Microman in this singles contest with Enzo, but I thought they played it as well as you could play it under the circumstances. Enzo was talking and talking and talking. The crowd was really giving him shit. Everyone seemed to be behind Microman. Really, I thought they played it exceptionally well. I thought the match was fun for what it was. It was short, but it was more about a story than a match. Of course, we've got that ongoing relationship between Manser and Microman, lending a little hand old Manser helping him out. So all in all, I thought this was pretty good. I like I say, I've never been Enzo's or a real one's biggest fan, but he's really been, as far as this MLW run goes, like really hitting his stride, and I think he's being used well, booked well. So yeah, kind of flipped my opinion on this guy very much over the past year or so.
I would actually have to agree with you on that. I say actually, like I never agree. We do agree quite often, but I will say this: I do agree with you, especially on this point, because you're right. I mean, I enjoyed Enzo in his time in WWE, and obviously everything that kind of happened, and then MLW kind of giving him that second breath of life, putting him in front of TV eyes, and he's flourishing, and he's been booked in the right way. But that's this is how a wrestler can go from almost being a leper, if you will, a pariah, to getting new life. If you book somebody properly and you give them the tools to succeed, anyone can succeed. And kudos to Enzo. And like I say, I quoted this. I mean, I said it at the beginning that there was a lot of stuff going on, but this was hilariously amazing. Everything that was done perfect, and Enzo's selling was top notch. For a second there, like I said in my recap, I really thought he might have been knocked out cold. Like the fact that Microman really had to work to get him over shows that he was playing dead weight to like his full potential. So kudos to the MLW team, kudos to Microman, kudos to Saint Laurent, kudos to Mance Warner, kudos to the kendo stick, man. Everybody in this match played their part to perfection. And I wasn't throwing shade at Microman because he didn't hit him over the back of the head. I thought it was funny because Microman's, I guess you'd say, depth perception might have been a little bit off. So hitting the shoulder made perfect sense as opposed to hitting the back of the head. So again, I enjoyed this match for what it was, especially the Mance while Enzo's being stretched out, Mance with the thumbs up beside him taking photos. And you know that Enzo, when he awakens from whatever he awakens from, when he sees that, he's going to be pissed. So we definitely will get that Mance Warner and Enzo payoff down the line for sure. Then we get a recap on the calling attack on Hammer from last week that we did literally 8 minutes before that. But we get another recap of it. And Hammer comes out. He cuts a promo. That's a really serious promo. I liked it. Meat and potatoes. What?
Oh, sorry. My phone went off. I had it on silent.
Oh, okay, right on. So, man,
apologies.
No problem. So, Hammer cutting this promo, very intense. Hammer's promo skills have been lights out lately, especially with the EJ and Duca feud. I thought his promo ability really picked up. He was always solid, but now Hammer's hitting all cylinders when it comes to his promo. He got real serious, real straight up in the camera, and said, "No more bullshit. You guys think that fight's going to make me want to run? Or that attack's going to make me want to run? No, it makes me want to fight. But I want to fight you where you guys can't scurry your way, where you guys can't hide in the shadows. I want you at War Chamber." So as we await to see if the calling will accept Hammer's challenge, in the back of my head, as soon as he issued that, I'm thinking, is he going to go 3-on-1? Because who is he going to, who is going to be on Team Hammer? Well, we'll find that out later on the show. But considering that Richard is obviously, just getting back into ring shape form, the fact that EJ and Hammer are no longer friends, I was thinking maybe Jacob Fatu, like an alliance of the pillars of MLW. But you know what? We'll get to that later on in the show. Now we get a Davey Boy promo. He's loosening up. He's working with the Billington Bulldogs, and he's getting ready. And he says that after tonight, Alex Kane's going to retire to that suplex island that he talks so much about. But he won't be able to walk out of his bed, won't be able to walk on the beach because he won't be walking. And then he gets right up in the camera, and I really like the intensity on Davey Boy Smith. It may sound cheesy, but he gets right up in the camera, kind of like this, and he goes, "I'm going to make sure that." And the whole time he's kind of like checking his eye line to make sure his head's not out of frame, which I really did appreciate. I did appreciate that. I like this promo. I really did. What did you think of Davey Boy's promo?
I didn't like it.
Too. I didn't ask you. Hammer's promo, then Davey's promo.
That's okay. I was going to throw it in there anyways. I was actually going to say I didn't like it as much as I liked Hammer's promo. I thought Hammer went to a little bit of a darker place. And like Hammer's one of those guys where he is a badass as part of his character.
Yep.
But he's also kind of, and I don't mean this disparagingly, he's also kind of like a white meat baby face, right? Yep. So that darker kind of aspect to Hammer is something I think he needs right now, because he's been kind of the same vibe for a while. Just bringing out that dark side of him. I like it. I thought that promo was solid, and I thought Davies was pretty good as well. I mean, it set up more of what we're going to see in terms of the match with him and Alex Kane. This kind of build up and feud has been going on for a while. So I was really stoked for this match, and I thought Davey did a pretty good job. I mean, is he the strongest promo? Probably not, but this was pretty solid as far as promos go. So it made me hyped for the match, which is really at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for.
Absolutely. You want to talk about promos? Well, the next promo that I'm going to talk about was the promo for me. That was the winner of the night. I love this promo. Rob's smiling because he knows how much I love this promo. I was geeking out hard. I actually was going to text you while I was watching and be like, bro, I went from 6 to 12 real fucking quick.
As I was watching it, I'm like, George is shitting himself laughing right now as he's watching this.
Absolutely. I was but laughing in a sadistic way, very much so. So we get a promo from Akira. And it was just cool, man. Just like the style of the way they filmed it. I love the aesthetics of it all. It was very much filmed to the first promo, the first Trust and Raven promo, where we got to see everybody's face come to light. But he's got a table sprawled out of weapons, which is the callings kind of calling, if you will. Pun on words. And he's talking about how he once thought sickles were just used to cut wheat, and that chains were used to chain things, and that nails were used to build things. No. Sickles are used to make people bleed. Chains are used to choke. And nails are used to crucify. Trust in Raven. It was beautiful. It absolutely was. It brings a smile on my face as I record this. Now, before we get to your thoughts on the promo, real quick into the squash match, which is exactly what we got. We got to see Akira's kind of in-ring debut. Technically, he had it when he attacked Hammer, but this is his first official match in MLW. And he was facing Mike Law. Mike Law was I guess, a local talent. I believe he's from New York. So making the short drive to Philly. Too bad for Mike Law. He never stood a chance. As Akira walked out to the ring, he picked up the sickle as they rolled back the sheet filled with
like a mutilation table filled with all sort of instruments of torture. And
there was a wrench on there. There was a baseball bat with nails in it. There was a lot of stuff. I didn't get a chance to peruse everything, but there was quite a few. Literally a selection. Like, remember the game Manhunt?
Yep.
Everything on that table reminded me of a weapon from Manhunt. So very exciting. I mean, that's one of my favorite games. So very excited about that. But he comes out and it's a flat out squash match. The one part of the match where I really thought I hope Mike Law got injury or danger pay was when the sickle got pushed into his mouth and it looked like it was literally going to come out the side. Thankfully, though, Akira got off that, and then the ref's like, lose the sickle. So what does Akira do? He throws the sickle at the ref, and the ref's kind of like back. It's like, I'm not touching that. So regardless, Akira hits his finisher for a very quick 1, 2, 3. The promo was longer than the match, including the commercial time. But regardless of the fact, Rob, what did you think about Akira's debut and this epic promo, which I'm going to give promo of the night to 150%?
The match was great. Like, for what it was a squash match, and it was just more to introduce the MLW fans to Akira if they're not familiar with him.
Right.
They really put over the catch death style, catch wrestling death match hybrid there. Excuse me. And I think it was a good way to introduce him without giving him too long of a match, because they had some more segments they had to film, such as the promo that's coming up next. And of course our main event, which is up on the screen behind you. So George, since I know you were so into it, please take us through the next segment that we saw.
Okay, well, first there is a segment before that segment that you're talking about. We got an Alex K promo, and I know you're excited about this one. Boumaier is back there. He's working. He's punching. Thomas is holding the bag. And who do we see in the corner? We see a young lady that Alex Kane wanted in Boumaier that he mentioned on the last appearance he had on MLW Rewind. That's right. Jordan Blade was up in the building in the far corner as a member of Boumaier. They didn't really introduce her, but she came out during the main event. She was in the promo. And if this is any inkling of what we're going to see, I'm very excited, very happy that Alex Kane got what he wanted. Very excited for Jordan Blade because she'll flourish in Boumaier for sure. I'll give you a couple minutes to touch on Jordan Blade and your reaction, because when I saw Blade, I was like, holy fuck, he did it. Kane fucking did it.
Well, yeah, like Kane did it, but Jordan did it. I mean, Jordan Blade's been working on the indies for a while, building up her name. putting in something like she's a no nonsense, kick your ass kind of wrestler. Great to see that hard work is paying off. And I know like Alex talked about it with us that she was somebody who really wanted to see in MLW. She fits MLW. She's got that hybrid wrestling fighter style, shoot fighter, if you want to say. So it's awesome. It's awesome. We're going to see more. Hopefully, we're going to see some in-ring action from Jordan Blade. I know when Alex talked about that with us, I posted on Instagram like, "Hey, MLW, let's get." She responded like, "Absolutely, let's do it." So I'm glad to see that she's getting some chance, hopefully in MLW, to prove to the world what she can do. And yeah, it was typical Boomaye. It they're never really doing anything wrong here. Like Boomaye Fight Club has just been pretty solid since they debuted, since the faction was put together. Everything they're doing is good. I got no complaints about the Boomaye Fight Club. Uh, just fantastic.
Absolutely. And now, what is the second favorite promo of the night for myself? There is concern in MLW, ladies and gentlemen. There is concern of a missing person. And two people came together in a very, I want to say telephonic, if that's the right word.
Yeah, it was like it was telethon vibes for sure.
It was very telethon vibes. And Taya Valkyrie and Johnny Fusion, aka your featherweight and openweight champions, came together to let us know that we still have not found Cesar Durant. He is missing. And they showed us exactly all the elements that I'm going to walk you guys through now of where they promoted how we can get in touch with them. It's been on light poles or, telephone poles, electric poles, if you will. It's been on billboards, guys. It's been on milk jugs. And they also showed a rendering of what Cesar Durant might look like now since his appearance. And this, guys, I'm going to warn you, this photo is shocking. I was scared for CD. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a rendering of what Cesar Durant may look like today. And guys, don't forget, there is a zillion peso reward for the whereabouts, any information leading to the recovery and safe return of Cesar Durant. That's right, a trillion pesos. Rob and I did the conversion. I think it works out to be like 10 grand or something. But the fact is that, guys, he is still missing. And they are pleading for any information. And don't forget, you got to call the 1-900 Lucha number, not 1-800, 1-900. You have to pay to give the information to Lucha Underground, which for Azteca Underground, that's what we need, guys. Please, we need to bring CD home. And NC.
This was hilarious. They were killed. Like, we're all Taya, we're all similar in age. Like, we grew up with stuff like that on TV. Like, even just you'd be watching a show and be like a 2.5-minute commercial for one of those.
World Vision, absolutely.
Yeah, they just nailed the whole, like, I guess vibe is the word. Like they just nailed it. The way they were talking, I was laughing my ass off this whole segment. It's nice when wrestlers get to just let their creativity kind of go with stuff like this, because they didn't need to be told what to do. They were just kind of told do something like this, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we got this." Absolutely hilarious stuff.
Did you catch Sam Adonis in the background at the beginning ordering reserving the table for the three of them, and Taya had to tell him.
And I almost like with this, I'm almost starting to wonder if they had something to do with the disappearance of Cesar Durant.
Wow, the fact that they're offering the reward in pesos, the fact that it's a 1-900 number, it feels like a very quick buck for them to turn around and make some money. Maybe CD wasn't paying them. I'm not sure. We don't understand what the manager, star fee was.
Well, he was kidnapped by his own henchmen. So who would have the clout with the Azteca Underground henchmen to possibly make them turn on the leader? I mean,
Savio Vega.
Where'd Savio Vega come from?
Savio Vega, listen, Savio Vega has had beef with CD, and there's been a couple times when Vega and CD in the early days of this whole henchman thing, Savio Vega would go back through the archives of MLW, man. He would look at the henchmen. There would be these Easter egg things that would drop, man. I honestly think Savio Vega I'm not going to put any stock in any of them hurting CD. They're scared for him, Rob. They want him to come home.
All right, if you say so.
All right, guys. And moving on, I'm just going to leave that up behind me, the reward, so everyone can see how much money is going to be. That's what's going to be left behind me. But Leo Rush, he's returning next week, and he's going to let us know kind of what his next move is in terms of MLW or where he wants to go, what he has his sights on. So I am actually looking forward to hearing Leo Rush speak, because when Leo Rush gets passionate, it hits different. And I'm not the biggest Leo Rush fan. Everyone knows this. But when Leo Rush speaks, when it's him speaking and speaking freely, it's going to be something special. And I'm excited to see what he wants to go, or what, I guess, what he's got planned for in this current run with MLW. And I'm keeping an open mind on this one. I really am. I really, really am. I'm keeping an open mind because the match with Jacob Fatu, it hit different, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm excited to see what he does. We also get another promo from a new member of the roster. And I'll let you get your word in on both of these in a second. The one called Manders. He is going to have his debut next week against Ricky Shane Page in a hardcore match. And he had a couple clutch sayings in this promo. You want to know what makes a cowboy, Rob? It's not the hat. It's not the boots. It's not the saddle. It's grit. It's grit, baby. That's what makes a cowboy. And you know what? He's an MLW for one reason. He wants to add some gold to his impressive belt buckle collection, which I'm not sure what that means, because a lot of belt buckles are made out of silver and gold. So maybe he wants to add bigger gold. I'm not really sure. I didn't get that part of the promo. But the fact is, what I'm just saying, I didn't get a part of it. This was a really good promo, and I'm excited to see what Manders can do in the ring. I was able to see him at the Last Man Lucha show. This guy can go. So I'm interested to see how he can go in a hardcore style match, which really pretty much favors Ricky Shane Page over Manders.
He worked our friend Kobe Durst at the recent GCW event in Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. Heard they had a good match. Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Manders, Second Gear Crew, I'm on board with these guys already. So build up the character, build up the the awareness for the MLW crowd, who may not be like, I imagine they probably are, but if they're not as familiar with Manders, it's, introducing him, getting that foundation laid down, what to expect from a cowboy like him, and then execute with the matches. So
absolutely. Well, we'll see what he could do with Ricky Shane Page next week. That's the Calling versus the SEG. I guess the first official match of that. No, a second, because Manders faced Ricky earlier on. So we're going to get to see how the next member of the SGC can fare against the Calling. What's your thoughts on Leo Rush? Any idea where he might be going in the second run? And are you happy with the comments that I made saying I'm going to keep an open mind?
Of course, we always keep an open mind, even if it's someone we're not a big fan of, or we don't even like sometimes, but we keep an open mind because we're professionals. And that's what professionals do.
Well, yeah, that, and also we look straight at the camera. We don't. I'm sorry. I'm bringing up old things. Go ahead.
So, as I was saying,
yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked for Leo Rush. I think this time he's going to be going more for the world heavyweight title than the middleweight title. I don't know.
I think maybe open weight, but I think the
maybe
fact
even
that,
open weight.
Yeah, I think the fact that he hung with Jacob Fatu as long as he did, and actually got a couple near falls, it shows that he could be in the title picture. Now, is he one that can dethrone Hammer? I don't believe so. But I do think he's a strong contender for Battle Riot. And we already know there's a lot of people already throwing their names in the hat for Battle Riot. They announced a couple today. Lance Wani, John Hennigan, obviously, Juicy Fatu, Jacob Fatu. There's a lot of people up in there already vying for the spot. Now, you know what would be interesting for me, or one match I would love to see, and I don't know if they've ever faced each other before, but if I'm Leo Rush, I'm kind of like a lone wolf right now. Because a lot of people are kind of intertwined or tied, or there's family ties, or they're all in factions together. I would love to see Leo Rush kind of go at Azteca Underground. I'd love to see Leo go at Sam. I'd love to see Leo go at John for that open weight title. I think those would be two banger matches. So yeah, I think both of those matches would be awesome. So, but I'm pretty sure what I see Leo Rush doing next week is probably announcing he's going to throw his hat in to Battle Riot, which is coming very, very close. War Chamber's next, and Battle Riot's going to be right after it. So, yeah, I think Leo Rush is going to kind of throw his hat into Battle Riot for sure. But next week's going to be just as exciting as this week was. And now, without further ado, are you ready for the main event?
I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Well, it's not main event time yet, because right before the main event, we get another attack. That's right. Akira and Ricochet Page are attacking EJ and Duca in the back. They've pretty much incapacitated him. He's knocked out cold. They drop a stack of calling cards on him and they kind of walk away. And this is the perfect way to officially end EJ's run in MLW. Now, with being attacked by the calling, they can write him off TV, if you will. And this shows the disappearance. EJ was badly hurt by the calling, and he's going to get medical attention and ride off into the sunset. I thought that the tag match was a great match send off, but this is a great way for the character to be sent off. It's simple, it's clean, it cuts all ties. We know why he's no longer there. He was attacked by the calling, and now EJ can go on and do things, and MLW can move forward their way as well. So this was, what did you think about the way they kind of wrote the character of EJ and Duca off MLW TV?
Yeah, no, I agree. I was actually kind of thinking to myself, like, is this the last we'll see of him? Like, I know he's done, but did they film more stuff that he's still in, and could they be using him again? I don't know. But if this was the final hurrah for EJ, yeah, it was a cool way to send him off. Just have him beat to hell, and then he's ambiguously given medical attention, and we never see him again.
Pretty much, very ambiguous, and I like it. Good word, ambiguous. We're going to use that more in a sentence. Now, let's get to something that's non-ambiguous. This main event. That's what this is. This one with all kinds of fire. So Kane walks out. Boomaye Fight Club all behind him. Mr. Thomas behind him. Jordan Blade in the front. Myron Reed holding the Opera Cup, which is dented. Still very much dented. That's one thing I don't like because that thing's been around forever. And earlier on the episode, we got kind of a history on the Opera Cup, where it started, Stu Hart winning it, and leading up everything into this. That was right before Davey's promo. I forgot to mention that, so my apologies on that. But it was a pretty cool little piece of, it was like a history of minutes thing. If you're a Canadian child, you know what that's about. That's what it was. It was like the Opera Cup in minutes.
Canadian heritage moment.
There you go. That's right. That's right. So as soon as Boomaye comes out, they're ready to go. Davey Boy Smith comes out with the Billington Bulldogs. They're ready. They're focused. They're on one side. Boomaye is on the other. Where's Myron Reed? He's on commentary. And he's joining Joe Dombrowski and Matt Stryker. Myron was great on commentary. A couple moments for me that were classic was when Matt Stryker said, Myron, you're gonna have to talk us through the game plan. And Myron said, why the hell would I talk you through the game plan? I'm not gonna give you anything. The game plan is Boomaye, plain and simple. And then Joe Dombrowski tried to pull more information about Myron Reed, about the attacks and everything they've done. And Myron just kind of brushed it off. Myron no-sold a lot of the stuff that they were asking.
Myron
was great.
He wasn't having anything. Like, Joe's clearly your face commentator, and Matt's your kind of heel commentator. But Myron wasn't having anything from anyone. He wasn't helping. He wasn't heel face. Myron's just like, yeah, the plan is Boomaye. The mission is submission. You know what I mean? Like, win. That's it.
Win.
Yeah, it was pretty funny stuff having Myron on commentary, and of course, especially with the way the match finished. Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll get into that in a little bit. But one sequence I loved in the match was the no sell after no sell after no
the Germans
sell.
And
the Germans.
Yeah.
Like Davey Boy Smith and Alex Kane were trading Germans and no selling. Like hitting a German, getting right back up. Hitting a German, getting right back up. They must have done that at least 4 or 5 times each. It was a great 3 to 5 minute sequence. Right up until... Sorry, go ahead.
So the first no sell, I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, just no selling that suplex like that. Then when I saw they were each, I was like, okay, now it makes total sense and it's a good spot.
Well, you want to talk about selling top notch. Let's talk about Davey Boy Smith for a second. That first German on the outside, Davey sold it to the point where Alex folded him up, and Davey sold it hard. He looked like he was pretty incapacitated, and Alex getting him up on the ring apron for that classic elbow drop on the apron was great too. This was classic shoot wrestling. Even the beginning, the sequences with the hands, kind of very Greco-Roman style. I love that. They really went above and beyond with the story that they told. And then eventually, though, as Davey Boy looks to be building momentum, Myron Reed caused a distraction. And what happens with the distraction? Well, it's very simple. Some kind of liquid got thrown into the ring, squirted into Davey Boy's eyes, causing the distraction, burning his eyes quite profusely, I might add. He was in a lot of pain.
What bottle? What liquid? I don't know what you're talking about, man. I didn't see no bottle.
All right, easy there. Hold on a second. So Alex hits a suplex for the 1, 2, 3. Sam LaTurner, our investigative journalist, comes out. She says to Alex, point blank, looks him right in the face, said, Alex, what was in the bottle? Alex says, I don't know what you're talking about. Myron says there was no bottle. Mr. Thomas says there was no bottle. Everyone's kayfabing this no bottle. There was a bottle. Sam even saw it. Everyone in attendance saw the
I
bottle.
see no bottle.
You saw the bottle. They admitted there was a bottle because they said what was inside the bottle was Boumaye juice. I'm not sure if that means like sweat from each of them combined into this liquid, which caused, a very unhappy Davy Boy to get his eyes pretty much almost burned out of his head.
Back in the day during the Roman Empire, they used to literally scrape the sweat off the gladiators after a match, bottle it, and sell it as perfume. So maybe that's what Boumaye juice is.
Maybe, but the fact is that there was liquid in that bottle. I'm no selling that because I don't even know I don't know where to go from there. I don't know where to go.
The best part is it's true.
And as we ride off into the sunset of another MLW episode, we get another little taste of the SCG crew. They're in a bar, a very empty bar.
It looks like SGC.
That's what I said.
Second
SGC.
gear crew. You said SGC crew. The second gear crew.
Okay, so yeah, the second gear crew. All right, whatever. So the SGC are in a bar, and it's an empty bar. It's midday. I'm not sure how they got in this bar, but they're just drinking beer. Mance is behind the bar, serving everyone beer. Hammerstone walks in and says, what's going on? And Manser says, hey, man, you want a beer? No, thanks. Hey, man, you want a protein shake? No, I'm good. What's up, man? What did you call me here for? Well, they have a common enemy. That's the calling. Manser says, you know what? Here's what we can offer. We can offer you a united front at War Chamber. Hammer says he's digging it, does the pose. They all do the pose. None of them do it correctly except for Hammer. Says he's going to get him there. He's going to get him there. And they agree to be on Team Hammer. So there's your teams right there. It's Hammer and the SGC versus the Calling at War Games. And you know what? The cameras kind of scurried out of there very quickly because Mance finally admitted that he wasn't paying for any of the beer that he took from behind the bar, and they had to get the fuck out of there. Even Hammer was like, man, I don't want to go to prison. So they all just booked it, and that was a great way to end the episode. A lot of things were tied up. A lot of new storylines were developed, and I am overall excited and happy with this episode and how great it is. And this is probably one of the most fun episodes it was to give a recap to you guys, a little rewind on that. So I enjoyed it. Rob, what did you think of the ending of the main event and going into this learning who was going to be on Team Hammer as we inch closer towards War Games?
I don't know. All I saw was Alex Kane deliver one of many in his repertoire of suplexes. You might even say he's got 1,001 suplexes.
Right.
But yeah, that's all. That's all I saw. I didn't see no bottle. I don't know what you.
It was filled with this pink black liquid. There was a bottle.
Just like I didn't see Mance or anybody else drinking beer that they didn't pay for. But I was excited that we're gonna have Hammerstone, the second gear crew teaming up. I think that's a pretty solid combo. Those guys are a lot of fun. They've kind of got that, Cowboys from Hell vibe, and I think it's gonna mesh well with Hammer against the Calling, the Hive, the New Flock. The Calling. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a fun match. I'm stoked for it. This was a great episode. The segments were great. The matches were pretty good. MLW's been on a very good run with this new underground season, if you want to put it. The league has just been on fire, in my opinion. I think I've been seeing more buzz about MLW. A little bit of issues with the TV deal for a lot of people, because some people now who previously could watch it aren't able to watch it, but they're going to be able to watch it again. There's more distribution and streaming deals that we've talked about. So I think MLW is picking up some good traction right now, and they're getting more and more noticed, which is great.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. So that's it for this one. The rewind is in the can. Guys, thank you so much for listening. You know our socials. He's only got one. We've said it a billion times. Go back through the archives to find it. All my socials are in the link below. Click that link tree, check him out. Don't forget to subscribe on the channel if you like. And also, if you are in the Mississauga area or in the GTA area, I have aligned myself with one of the great promotions out here, Destiny Wrestling. We are giving away 2 free tickets to the next show. Shameless plug on this, but check out the all my socials for the details on that. It's really simple. You just got to subscribe to each other's channel, and you got to drop each other's names in the opposite channel. So if you watch any video on Destiny, comment Straight Talk Wrestling. You watch any video on Straight Talk, comment Destiny Wrestling. It's very simple. You get entered in a draw to win these 2 GA tickets for Icons 3, which is a stacked show. And again, I don't mean to plug that on a MLW show, but if you are in the Ontario area, check it out. You get a chance to win 2 free tickets.
Myron Reed will be there. So
absolutely.
It's MLW related.
It is, absolutely. And Sam Laterna is also one of the play-by-play analysts for Destiny. So if you want to see any of your MLW favorites, past and present, this is the place to be for sure. And Alicia Altoot is also the host. So there's a lot of MLW ties in this company. So for sure, you definitely want to check it out. Guys, that's it for this one. I'm your host, your boy, and he is
Uncle Bobby B, baby.
And that's it for this episode of The Rewind. Peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you next week.
Adios.